Going into Alien Romulus, all I knew was that this was an alien film with a bunch of young actors, directed by Fede Alvarez. And as soon as I saw Fede Alvarez was linked with this movie, all hope left me, because I'm still traumatized to what he did to Evil Dead 2013. And that's not as if like the movie was bad or anything. It just like he made that film lose that Evil Dead soul, in my opinion. Whereas with Alien Romulus, this has to be the best movie he has directed. Okay, correction, the best movie that he has directed that I have watched, because I'm still here to watch Don't Breathe. And I feel like the benefits of this movie compared to that Evil Dead remake is that the whole alien lore allowed him to wiggle around and give him the full creativity, because at the thick of it, Fede Alvarez feels more of like a director that appreciates and gives focus to these horror elements. And he truly takes this film to drive in those moments. Like the Facehuggers, for example. I recently watched the first 3 films, and in those films, they give zero to no sense of fear. Yes, there's that tension in the second one when Ripley and Newt fight it, but here we see like a whole swarm of them, and these characters try to fend them off, and he adds this layer. And this is one thing I really wish the film lent more into, because I really enjoyed the tension and the stakes that the Facehuggers added in those moments. But when we proceed to the scenes with the xenomorph, if you have watched any of the alien films, you already know how these creatures have the ability to just creep you out and put that tension at the tip of your toes. And for characters, Kaylee Spaney is really great in this. I don't really want to hop on the comparison trend with her and Sigourney. They both do their characters in the best of their abilities, but as a leading role compared to the other movies I've watched with her, this has to be my favorite performance from her. But the one guy that really steals the show for me was David Johnson. She plays her brother. I was confused at first, but you understand in like the first 10 minutes, and I just love the back and forth with his character, also paired with the reappearance of another character from the Alien timeline. I'm not really a fan with the conclusion to his character though. I know Kaylee's the lead and she like gets all the screen time and everything, but I just wish he got more to do in that entire final segment. Because at the start of it, he doesn't really interact. Then the thing happens and he takes a minute before he gets involved. And when he gets involved, he just gets sidelined. And finally, I just have to give it to them for the production of this entire film. It's really impressive. Prior to watching this, I saw this like animatronic of the xenomorph, and it looked like one of those AI robot tech demo things that you see in all these tech conferences a couple years ago. So seeing that sort of technology being used in a movie, being used here, was just really impressive. I love how Fede was also saying, like, to the release of this movie, that they'll make this film as practical as possible, and it does really look like a real movie. It really immerses you in this space station. It really immerses you in this world. But there is moments at the start in particular that I just love, like when the ship takes off and it's this full 1 to 2 minute segment of them blasting off into the atmosphere. Like, they didn't have to put that in there, but I really appreciate the fact that they did that. And also the first alien film that actually shows us the real world and how random and regular human beings are just living and surviving in this universe. Overall, if you're a fan of the first film and maybe even the third film, you should love this. It really doesn't reinvent itself, which I don't mind, and I appreciate how it also leans into more of that horror side. We'll critic one thing, that the ending is, this is just me nitpicking, but that entire ending segment that I was talking about with Johnson, of them releasing the cargo ship and everything, I wish the movie ended before that, because we already know something is going to happen. So I feel like they could have just left it as somewhat of like a cliffhanger or anything. Not to say I didn't enjoy the scene, I enjoyed it, but I just feel like the movie was just overextending itself and doing too much in that part. But see, it doesn't really matter. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie. I don't really mind it. And I also love how like that was also reminiscent of another Alien film. I'm not going to spoil that. But thank you for watching this video. If you watch Alien, I want to know what you thought about it. Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? And hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Peace.